defines the ways and means to promote the growth of language press and regional press, etc. The first press commission has a commendable to achievements to its credit. Its a report led to certain significant measures towards regulating the newspaper industry. Because earlier, there is only one newspaper industry. There is a no television, no audio, means AIR. Those television and Doordarshan, which these two electronic media were included in the Ministry of Prasar Bharati, that is a Ministry of Information and Broadcasting only. So press should act as a liaison between the government and people. In the in this unit, we will discuss the press commissions and also committees. Let us look about the first press commission. The first press commission was appointed on September 23 in the year 1952 as a commission of inquiry for the purpose of making an inquiry into the state of the press in India. It's a past and present and future lines of development. So this press commission is chaired by Justice G.S. Rajyadaksha. There is also 10 members from other various parts of the India and belongs to various sections and various professionals. Among them, Dr. C.P. Ramaswamy Iyer, Dr. Zakir Hussain, Dr. V.K.R.V. Rao, P.H. Patwardhan, J. Natarajan, Chalapati Rao. These are some of the members who are part in this first press commission. What is examined the first press commission? The first press commission examined some important points. Once they examine only, they will give the recommendations. As per their observation, the control, management, and ownership and the financial structure of newspapers, periodicals, news agencies, and some syndicate agencies. So first, they they examined about the control and management and also ownership. Next one is working monopolies and the chains of their effect on the presentation of accurate news and fair views. Generally, newspaper is meant for the to give accurate news, whether it is applying or not. And third one is holding companies, the distributing of advertisements, and healthy journalism. One more important point is recruitment and training of journalists. What kind of method the agencies, means the news agencies or organizations, are giving to the journalist. One more, another one is newsprint. You know, newsprint which was subsidized by the government based on the circulation or readership survey. So whether the newsprint is newsprint supplies and printing and composing machinery were given by the subsidy, what is the conditions. So another one is a machinery for ensuring high standards of journalism, means in the form of printing, liaison between government and the press, and the functioning of a press advisory committees and the organizations of working journalists and other employees, and also between the editor and working journalist. The last point they were examining that the freedom of the press and repeal or amendment of laws not in a censure, uh, not in a related to the press or media. So these are the some important objectives they examined. Means the first press commission examined all these objectives. Based on their examination, the commission has sent several reminders to journalists and associations and newspaper owners and editors to ask them some evidence and recommend uh, their queries and their any suggestions. So after received the suggestions and all this, the commission report was submitted in the year 1954 in the two parts. Part one is contained the massive report and the development of journalism in India. Another one is research and another one is two in these two parts. The another one is about research. There is a one J. Natarajan, who is the editor of the Tribune, Deed, and one daily. So he is also in the commission. So he has given, means he written this, he prepared the report. In this report, they contacted 330 dailies published at the time, and five owners controlled 29 newspapers, and their circulation about 30 percentage of five owners, while more than 50 owners controlled by 54 newspapers and over 50 percentage of the circulation. So mainly uh, 5 and 15 means 20 owners only having at least 10 20 80 percentage of newspapers in this at that time, because the ownership also is a part of their examination, and the circulation is also missionary, everything is in their purview. The commission's recommendation, after examination they have recommended some points. The recommendations were aimed at the development of public service oriented press. Already we know the press is many of the important persons. The aim of the press is service. This is the quotation by Mahatma Gandhi. Then a major recommendation was the appointment of a press register to maintain accurate data on the press, and its working, and a press council to act as a watchdog on the press. First one is a press register, next one is a press council. These two are the important recommendations recommended by the first press commission. It also strongly recommended the development of Indian language press, especially the growth of a small newspapers in the smaller towns. To assist in this development, it recommended to the government the setting up of a tariff for news services. the price page schedule means advertisement tariffs also to be covered in this press commission, and uh, and also elimination of some restrictive practices, including crossword and other prize competitions. Also recommended was the principles of collective bargaining and trade unionism, and uh, fixation of the minimum wages for working journalists. The report also urged against the concentration of ownership and the rise of monopolistic trends. It is also recommended diffusion of ownership and control among a large number of persons, so that the chances of any dominant interest among the group of owners could be eliminated or cancelled mutually. The press register and the press council were given the responsibility of investigating into the existence of monopolies that went against public interest. The report the report upheld the authority, and the report upheld the authority and the status of the editor, and recommended that he or she be given administrative control over his staff, means the editorial staff. Reporting also comes under the editorial. Earlier earlier semesters, we learned about the in the semester two we have the structure of newspaper. There is a editorial department. Under the editorial department, the editor is the boss, and also reporting section. Reporting section also included in the editorial department only. So, editor is also given administrative control of his staff, means the editorial department, sub editors, news editors, senior sub editors, even though bureau chiefs, staff reporters at the district headquarters, correspondents. So all this comes under the control of the editor. It also the this press commission, first press commission also recommended that the press eschew the yellow journalism, and it to be independent, accurate, and fair in the presentation of news. Besides, the the commission recommended the streamlining of procedures of recruitment and training of a journalist, and also some of the laws that related to the practice of journalism. What it is, so some the press commission is examined some important points like control and management, missionary, newsprint, and the training and recruitment policies for the journalist. All these are examined. Later, they recommended two important points. That one, those are the first one is to establish the press register, and another one is Press Council of India. So, what achievements made after the first press commission's recommendation? The first press commission has some commendable achievements to its credit. Its report led to certain significant measures towards regulating the newspaper industry. Press Council of India was established in the year 1966 to regulate the press. Another thing is register, press register. So for that, The India, the government register of newspapers for India, RNI, was appointed in the year 1956 to prepare an account of the publications and titles. Now, in the yesterday class, we have learnt about the rename of this RNI, that is press register, the general press register general in the year 2023. And then after, based on this recommendation, one act was accepted, that is a Working Journalist Act in the year 1955. And also uh, some, not only for the working journalist, and also newspaper employees and newspaper other employees, then the main press. In this Working Journalist Act, newspaper agencies also comes under this Working Journalist Act. And also suggested that to establish fact finding committees, and also newspaper financial corporation, which was started in the year 1970, but the bill was not passed in this in the both houses. These two, one is the newspaper financial corporation, which was not accepted. Means it is at the level of bill only. It is lapsed. Dear students, if you have any doubts, you may raise your questions in the yeah, dear students, if you have any doubts, you may raise your questions in the uh, in a in an interaction. Otherwise, you may type in the chat box. I will read it and get you back with the clarifications. If you have no doubts, we'll move to the another important press commission, that is a second press commission. The second press commission was set up in the year 1978 May. The report was submitted in the year 1982. First of all, the press commission, which was established, which was set up in 1978. Then there is a Janata government. So the Janata government is in middle. It is uh, collapsed. So later again the new government in the year 1980 initiated to continue the second press commission with a new chairman. The new chairman was K. Matthew. Earlier, the under this there is also members. Members included Rajendra Mathur, Ranbir Singh, and Gadgil, P.V. Gadgil. Among them, these are the important persons who worked for the Second Press Commission. What is the Second Press Commission is examined? The first one is the role of press. The role of press in a developing and democratic society. You know, India is a democratic society. And another another point is adequacy of the present constitutional guarantees on the freedom of speech and expression. Number three, safeguarding of independence of the press against economic, political pressures, and against pressures from the proprietors and management. One more thing is ownership pattern uh, and press as a industry, advertising, government press relations, and also official agencies, the growth of small and medium newspapers in Indian language press, the news coverage, news values, news agencies, and future agents. Feature means here one kind of news agency which gives the feature articles and flow of press and to India. The new international information order is also there at the time, and training for the journalist, research in journalism and mass communication, newspaper development, all these some important points the second press commission examined. So for this, they contacted, they have prepared a questionnaire with some questions, and they inquired at least 800 persons, and among them 250 are individuals, 250 are commission studies, and remaining all the owners, news agencies, persons, all this comes under this. Uh, they came and they given their suggestions to stronghold the press in India. Based on these recommend suggestions by the various groups, various individuals, various owners, they have prepared a report. Comparisons with the developments in the press and other countries, how they are following. So all these comparison also included in their examination. So after this a thorough examination, they given some recommendations. The commission saw the role of press in developing and democratic society as being neither that the advisory or not an ally of the government. What the important recommendations? What are the important recommendations? Among them, first one is to be a mindless advisory on unquestioning ally would be to abdicate judgment. A free press should be a constructive critic. Hence, the need for development journalism for news values are in the interest of social health and national development. For investigative journalism, which is oriented to social and economic issues, a major concern of the commission was objectable communal writing. It recommended that on the outbreak of communal disturbances, newspapers should refrain from sensational presentation of the news and from giving community-wise figures of those who killed and injured. However, when the situation gets stabilized, there should be no hesitation in investigating the cause of the writing, means writing and its consequences with the identification of the community's concern. So the don't give the numbers by the religion. The main recommendation is when the communal incidents happen, don't give the number. Just you have to be quoted. As a journalism student, you need to be quote the number only. But there is you no need to add from particular religion person the number and the particular persons whose belongs to the religion. So don't mention in the news. So this is the one recommendation made by the second press commission. And another one is the report art. argued for a positive role of a press being those aspects which tend towards unifying the communities and strengthening the moral fabric of society. So this second press commission is mainly focused on the society. Public interest should be the main criterion in journalism for the press as a social responsibility and accountability to the public. The second press commission also recommended that the editor take the responsibility for all matter published in the newspaper, including advertisements. The editors you see in the newspaper, end of the newspaper means the last line below the last one line in the last page of the newspaper. There is a publisher name, printed address, and the RNA number, and one more who is the editor. All this information includes at that place. There is also one more sentence which is gives in the newspaper, that is the editor is the responsibility for the publication, the published matter in the newspaper, right? One more important point is the complaints of violation of the codes of ethics governing advertising should be examined by the press council. The commission wanted journalists to resist external pressure and to be on guard against the temptation to enjoy favors, whether from government authorities, employees, advertisers, or others. In this second press commission, there is a one significant recommendation, that is a newspaper development commission, but it is not uh, possible. But they recommended that to establish one newspaper development commission. What is this development commission, newspaper development commission do? In directions with the facilities, the growth in a particular of a Indian language newspapers, whatever the circulation category and of local interest and other publication of small medium size in terms of circulation. The commission could promote research and development in the newspaper industry. The commission liaison with the various government departments concerned with the needs of the industry. Which commission? Newspaper Development Commission, not the second press commission. We uh, don't be confusion. So the Newspaper Development Commission also would be founded by an initial grant from the government, a small cess on all newsprint consumption, and a tax on advertising revenue of a newspaper. And an attempt should be made to establish cordial relations between the government and the press. So now coming to again discuss about the second press commission's recommendations. Newspaper industry should be separated from industries and commercial interest. There is a, we know, there is a chain ownership patterns, whereas a newspaper is one industry, and also other industries may be included in this ownership. One more is a price page schedule. Price page schedule should be introduced. There should be a fixed proportion of a news and advertisement in a small, medium, and big newspapers. Generally, they follow the 40-60 percentage. Means 60 percentage is the news and 40 percentage advertisements in the in one page. So there is a no uh, rules, guidelines from the any government authority, even though many newspapers are follows 60 percentage news and 40 percentage for the advertisements. Newspaper industry should be relieved from the impact of a foreign capital. Later in after 1991, there is a liberation, privatization, globalization. There is a number of foreign investments who are investing in the newspapers. But this is the second press commission, which is in the 1978 and 80. So they recommended. Another one is the misuse of the image of advertisement should be discontinued. The government should prepare a stable advertisement policy. The Press Information Bureau should be reconstituted. These are the some important recommendations made by the Second Press Commission. Along with these two press commissions, there is some committees. There is a three major committees. First one is AK Chanda Committee. Dear students, if you have any doubts, you may contact, you may interact with me and ask me if you have any doubts. I will get you back with the clarifications. Otherwise, you may type in the chat room. Then let us discuss about the AK Chanda Committee. The government constituted the Chanda Committee under the chairmanship of AK Chanda in the year 1964, when Indira Gandhi was the information and broadcasting minister. The committee submitted its report in the year 1967. The recommendations was accepted by the government. What were the recommendations by the AK Chanda committee? They recommended that TV means DD and Doordarshan separated from the All India Radio. Another recommendation is starting of a commercial services in the All India Radio and even in the Doordarshan. Two major recommendations. So number one is a separate wing for the All India Radio and Doordarshan. And also commercials. Earlier there is a no commercial. Commercials means advertisements. In general electronic media, they calls it is a advertisement. So they recommended commercials also be part in the Doordarshan and also All India Radio. The focus on the post-independence broadcast policy had to wait for Indira Gandhi, who after her father's death became the Information and Broadcasting Minister, appointed AK Chanda Committee. The committee recommended this creation of a separate public corporation for Akashvani and Doordarshan. This was not created in the future. The Chanda Committee expressed its disappointment on the development of mass communication in India because there is a no separate mass communication institutions and there is a no separate mass communication journalism departments in the in universities in Indian universities or educational institution. So they recommended for a separate department. Now we have separate departments in all universities like journalism and mass communication departments. Earlier, there is a no separate institution. There is a no separate department which is located in the institutions of educational institutions. Educating the committee is focused on the educating and enthusiasm people to participate actively in the social and economic development programs through press. The report, the committee's report emphasized that for a qualitative improvement of coverage, at least two channel transmission must be provided in all regions and low power transmitter be installed in each compact agriculture area. So this committee is mainly focused on the broadcasting industry. Broadcasting means the then only the Doordarshan channels and All India Radio only. The committee also means this Chanda committee also recommended the setting of two separate autonomous public corporations for radio and television. The attempt was uh, reconcile autonomy with the control by endowing All India Radio. Earlier, Doordarshan is also part in the All India Radio. With this significant liberty in financial and managerial matters, while retaining clearly defined areas of regulations by the state. The committee was averse to AR being employed as an instrument of the government and also to it being entrusted with the private hands. It is the committee is notable that the committee was in a favor of allowing universities, municipal corporations, and state governments to install transmitters. Later, the Prime Minister, the Indira Gandhi, took the Chanda Committee report and the cabinet in the year 1969 and decided that it was not right time for giving autonomy to the those two entities, that is AIR and DD. But TV was separated from AIR under the name Doordarshan in the year 1976, April 1st. Here we need to know about the Broadcasting Corporation Board. The Broadcasting Corporation Board should be established by an act of Parliament, separation of AIR and TV means Doordarshan with two independent corporations. It should be a semi-government body. Board of Governor is not more than seven, one chairperson and six members. Members of the board have maximum 6 years of tenure. Board will be monitor all the content of communication. Programs based on national interest should be broadcast on priority basis. A separate entity is established, that is a Doordarshan in the year 1976. Their the Doordarshan's base objective is not for the commercial. Their objective is the programs based on a national interest, the priority for the national interest only, not for the advertisements. Nowadays, we know the 24-hour news channels, they focused on the many commercials, means advertisements only. In generally, All India Radio is it is a mouthpiece of the government only. And today also, there is a that is only the mouthpiece of the government, means the central government. Yeah, dear students, so far we have discussed about the AK Chenda committee and two press commissions. The first press commission by Raja Daksha and second one is headed by KK Matthew. Now coming to discuss about the PC Joshi committee. There is a no particular committees uh, after these three committees. Now coming to discuss about the PC Joshi committee. In uh, in our democratic society, there is a inequality in the society. People live differently, think differently, and feel differently. The process of communication or software production left to the free play of market forces does not act as a countervailing mechanism against the natural working of an unequal society. It reinforces the unequal society rather than correcting it. The freedom of the communicator to produce must be harmonized with the right of the weaker section, constituting the vast majority in a developing country. India is, India is a developing country. So these are some points observed by the PC Joshi. In December 1982, a working group of software for Doordarshan headed by PC Joshi was appointed to prepare a software plan for the Doordarshan, taking into consideration with the main objectives of television in assisting in the process of social and economic development of the country, and also to act as an effective effective medium for providing information, education, and entertainment. The PC Joshi committee is the objective of the PC Joshi committee is to prepare a software production for Doordarshan. So the members and other the PC Joshi, the group suggested that several steps for restoring the development functions of television, and even objected to the frequent use of a national communication framework to present a Delhi-centric view of India. They suggested that to establish transmitters to give the regional level news to the viewers of Doordarshan. Then only many places in the India established new Doordarshan centers. This committee report mentioned the dangers of the technology-led communication revolution and explained the need to evolve our own version of communication revolution. The committee referred to the German playwright Bridge statement about the radio being equally relevant for television, and also this committee urges for changing television to receives as well to transmit and to let the listener speak as well as to hear. So interaction sessions, the program should be many to prepare with the participation of viewer. Here we need to know need to be quote about one quotation by the McLuhan. The report said, quotation of the McLuhan: any software which does not evolve out of some form of public participation is weak in authenticity and appeal. So, the need for incorporating an intimate, participatory, down upwards orientation is required to develop the socio and economic sectors. So, based on this recommendation, television encouraged people to be participants in the process of generating software. So PC Joshi committee is mainly focused on the software for the Doordarshan for television. Then television is only the single television in the year 1980s. Later, in the after 1990, 1950s, 1990s, we have satellite channels, cable channels. Yeah, dear students, if you have any doubts, you may raise your hands. Otherwise, you may chat in the chat box. I will read it and get you back with the clarifications. If there is a no doubts, I will go with the next topic, that is the committee BG Varghese committee. Here first we need to know about the quotation who made which this statement is made by BG Varghese. The quotation is: an autonomous national broadcasting trust named Akash Bharati may be formed as non-profit making body, an essential public service licensed to operate under parliamentary chapter and accountable to the parliament. This is the quotation, means the statement by the BG Varghese. After the termination of emergency, the country's first non-Congress government, that is a Janata government, pleaded a genuine autonomy to the electronic media. The white paper on the misuse of mass media was prepared, and 11-member committee headed by former newspaper editor, that is committee. The committee name is BG Varghese committee. BG Varghese was the chairman, means he is the head of this committee, which was appointed in the August 1977 to look into the autonomy for the electronic media. The group was expected to examine the functional and legal aspects of the proposal to give full autonomy to Akashvani and Doordarshan. This consists with the accountability to Parliament, keeping in mind the different forms of autonomous organizations existing in other democratic countries in the matter of broadcasting. So this was the time where the first sincere efforts to relax the hold of the ministry on radio and television were started. The working group, means the committee, The working group, the working group was not in favor of two separate trust for radio and television. Through it urged for the distinctively identity was not in favor of two separate trusts. So they asked the government to establish one Akash Bharati, but it is not uh, done. So the committee emphasized that mass does not necessarily imply a mono, monolithic or homogeneous national audience, and that the trend in the world was towards catering the area and culture, specifically minority audience. The committee identified that the trust should be authorized to grant license to franchise stations through a board for education and extension broadcast. So based on this committee, extension and education programs are introduced in the Doordarshan and also in All India Radio. The educational station would not broadcast news bulletins of their own and not take up any commercial based castings. Commercial means advertisements. So the new government introduced a party election broadcast in the year 1977 May, uh, 15 years after the election commission has recommended their transmission. So each party has some, they there is they allot some time to the each party based on their recognition to give their election campaign in the Doordarshan. This is one committee's recommendation. But the Akash Bharati bill was introduced in the parliament, but it lapsed after the dissolution of the Lok Sabha in the year 79 when the government was toppled. The then Janata government was toppled in the year 1979. Only the Janata government, 3 years term only is there. Then after returning to the power in the year 1980, the Congress government decided to hold this effort of filling the media from government control, and the status quo was maintained. So what is the then? So the same is continued after the new government is formed. In the 1980s, 80, the Congress government is again returned back to the power. you may ask me to get there and interact with me. So why I am completing here this unit, once I will recall the first press commission's recommendation, that is to establish press register and press council, and the second press commission, which is mainly focused on the broadcasting system, and the committee is suggested for the separation of and other committees, PC Joshi committee, AK Chanda committee, BG Varghese committee. All these committees were given their recommendations to evaluate the press in the print media and broadcasting media. The situations were examined and given their recommendations. Next week, we will cover some other media acts, like laws relating to the defamation, laws relating to the rights, media and human rights in the, all these are some important topics need to be covered in this subject. We will discuss detail in the next session. Thank you very much, dear students, for watching this lesson and participated in this counseling class.